We got somebody that can definitely step up. So we've got Josh, the man, the myth, the legend from Tom Wood Collision coming at us. And man, this guy is just impressive all the way around. Josh has been, he's been after it. I think he's kind of gotten a name for himself out in the industry as a unique thinker. He's always leaning into the latest initiatives, not afraid to try stuff, not afraid to make it work. And man, I've gotten to watch this kid go after it and absolutely dominate. And so I'm very honored to have a good friend, Josh, join us. How you doing, brother? Oh, we got you on mute, but we'll get that fixed in short order. So let's see here. There should be a mute button up there on the screen. So
there we go. Can you hear me now?
Gosh. Now we got you. Goodness, you don't have to.
Dude, how are you guys today?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, man, it's awesome. We're having a great day. I mean,
we're still fired up, aren't you, Ryan? I'm still fired up.
I don't know if it's a 12 cups of coffee or what's going on, but I am. And I didn't have a Red Bull like Mike, but I'm sure thinking about it now. So
I know.
Man,
how
Josh,
can you not be fired up after hearing Mike talk.
Oh, I tell you,
I can't tell if you guys love me or hate me. If you want me to follow and act like the great, the great Mike Anderson, somebody I look up to so much.
We believe in you. Yeah, that's right.
That's amazing. That's the pat on the back I needed for this one.
Josh, look, you're always into some unique stuff. Tell us about some of the initiatives you're working on.
Well, a lot of this may sound like I'm repeating myself here because a lot of the really great operators that have talked earlier throughout the day are touching on a lot of things that I'm focused on throughout this year. And a lot of it is AI, and some of it's going to be capturing on the service lane. I'm getting into content creation. I've focused on marketing, in which we put on the back burner for way too long in our industry, and we're guilty of that too. Social media, but also building multiple pillars of that for both an education and a marketing side for that. Getting involved in education in our market, and me getting involved in our local association. So there's quite a few irons in the fire that I've got, but wow. I think it's all super exciting.
When you say the association, talk a little bit about your involvement. I know you're definitely trying to ignite some change there as well, to get things moving. Associations that kind of go through these ups and downs. What is driving the association for you guys, and what actions are you taking to help with that?
And how can we help?
Yeah.
So I'll share a little bit of a story to begin this, because I think that it adds enough context for you guys to all understand. I've been in this industry for a little over 13 or 14 years, and I look back at the moment that I realized that I had a burning passion for what we get to do. It was at an Indiana Auto Body Association meeting. I couldn't tell you what the topic was. I couldn't tell you where it was really at. But what I can tell you is that watching others go through the same struggle and then having that networking opportunity afterwards, a buddy to lean on and lean into and ask for advice and ask for guidance, get their cell phone number, and really have that connection. It was more than networking. It was connecting with somebody who was struggling with the same things, but wanted to lift me up and see me succeed. I'll never forget it. And that's what really got me into wanting to give back to our association. And like many others, you said it, they go up, they go down, engagement's high, attendance is low. They go through these evolutions where I wanted to see it really take off. So I got involved 2 years ago, and I'm getting really heavily involved now in bringing what is Tom Wood seeing and what can I do to open my playbook and help everybody around us. And I'm super excited to say we had our chapter meetings in 3 different chapters this week, and we had some of the highest engagement, some of the highest attendance that we've had in the last couple of years. But man, I found something that scratches an itch in my brain, and it's giving back to other people that are in this community and lifting them up and trying to, again, give them things out of my playbook to be more successful.
That's what great leaders do, Josh, and I'm proud of you, man. It's there's, I think, a common theme among all associations that are successful, that are growing. The pandemic tore a lot of them apart, right? The ones that were building a little bit of momentum, but it's the leadership. It's always comes down to a handful of people that are in that association that determines their success or failure. And so,
yeah. And it's really exciting as we've seen a changing of the guard for a couple of the guys on. We're bringing new faces in. I've gotten a much deeper and a larger involvement in it, and we're picking up that momentum. And it's phenomenal. I feel like a kid on Christmas as I think back through this last week. Like, I am so excited for the next chapter meeting, and that's 3 months away. But it's just cool to see people come in that, we all often love to get on our soapbox and complain about everything that's wrong in this industry. And it's crazy to me. I've been doing this over a decade, and the complaints are the same.
Wow.
They're seasonal, but the complaints are all the same. And we can go and we can have beer and pizza and talk about how much this sucks and how we're all going through the same thing. But
Yeah.
taking an action item away from that, getting to pick your competitor's brain, if you will, finding something that worked for them, that's the value in it too. I
Hmm.
want you to not just come and complain. The complaints are valid. I don't want to discount that we hit hurdles in our industry, but
Yeah.
what can I take away from this and implement in my business? And see more success, have less stress, and enjoy what we do a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
It can turn into a pity party real fast, and that's why it requires that kind of leadership. And we've been whining about the same problems since 40 years ago, since I got my first association, you know. So dude, I was really impressed when I came to visit your shop. It was actually Ryan, I think it was the first like AI arch that I'd
Right.
actually
Yeah.
seen like in action, and I got to go to your shop and see that. And that's just the beginning of like the innovation that you're always working on in your shop. And so my question to you is, as an innovator, where most innovators get stuck is culture, is getting the rest of the team to want to actually do all this crazy stuff. What's your secret?
That there's some layers to that answer, but ultimately it's, I'm fortunate. I've got a team who I'm surrounded by a bunch of forward thinkers, and after a while, I think they get a little bit exposure therapy, and they know that new change is going to come. But you're right, it comes back a little bit to culture, and I also like to lean into my team when we're going to have something that's new, exciting, or is coming down the pipeline, and we want to embrace it first. I let them in on it, and I let them feel like they're part of the decision because they are. Like I want their
Mhm.
feedback. Ultimately, I'm the guy who gets to say we're installing it or we're rolling it out, but they're the ones that have to take action and they have to work through those tools every single day. Um, you know, Another thing too is a lot of people I think get excited about new and innovative things, but they're always hesitant to implement, right?
Mhm.
And that's
Hmm.
one of the question you asked is how do you implement? I think there are a lot of people who get hung up on the idea that I'm going to wait until I figure this out and I have a perfect time to launch it. And
Mm.
I'm here to tell all of you that, like most things in life, there's never a perfect time for anything. If you want this perfect case study done before you ever do something, you'll never, ever launch it and you'll never change. Humans resist change naturally, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But are we going to allow that to just continue to hold us back? I know one of the large complaints about our industry is we are outdated in a lot of ways. We're antiquated. We won't get out of our own way. And I've said this before, but the thing that needs to change in our industry is our acceptance of change. We are
Hmm.
getting left in the dust with a lot of things, AI being one of those, new tools, another one. Let's embrace the change. The cars are changing, our consumers are changing. Why are we not changing?
That's huge. Josh, I want to do something. I want to take about 3 minutes and 45 seconds and have you talk about diversification. Because one of the things that we're seeing is, and I just came from the Mobile Tech Expo in Orlando, where they're all about like reconditioning and stuff like that. I know you have a collision division. You also have a recon division. We haven't talked much about that. But as shops are thinking about, hey, customer pay, do I diversify? Tell us a little bit about how you think about reconditioning, how it's working for you, and what pitfalls these shops might have.
Yeah, so we've got effectively no sublet right now. It's not a perfect system, but we have a lot of service offerings. We can paint and recolor wheels. We've started to get into the wrap and vinyl side of things, the clear film side of things. We've got a calibration bay. We've got PDR. We've got all the service offerings that originally on inception, this was so we didn't have to ever have the car leave. But what was exciting about all of this is when you look through it, we've now got enough service offerings that people can come here for things that aren't so stressful and they're actually exciting. Like if you bought a new car, Dave, and you need a tint done, I can tint your car. Or Ryan just bought a new Lexus and they only offered it in silver wheels. He wants black wheels. I can now offer that. And that's just another way that I think for the long-term game, we can develop relationships with clients that we're not always the rain cloud, right? You don't have to have a bad experience to come see somebody at a body shop. So being able to have some of those things that diversify your options, it paints a much better perspective for customers when they look at you, right? They can do exciting things with my car, or they can do accessory add-ons and options. And it's not just the doom and gloom of, man, I got in an accident, I'm stressed out, and now I have to go see Josh.
Yeah, I also feel like that would endear you to the dealership ecosystem a little more than
Well,
just being the
certainly.
redheaded stepchild out there.
And that's something I'm still trying to navigate, like any other dealer, right? Like, but think about it. The dealerships have us in this perspective for one reason. They also only get to work with us when there's something bad that happened. If there's transport damage on a brand new car, they're not excited about it. And then it takes a long time. It's super expensive. The claim's troublesome. They still don't look at their own internal body shop as these heroes because that was a painful experience for them. They couldn't sell the car. It was stuck in their overhead or on their floor plan. So this does paint us in a much, it gives you the rose tinted glasses, if you will. They can actually enjoy us and appreciate the services we offer.
It's huge. Man. So when it comes to the reconditioning side of it, is it profitable? Does it work for you guys? Like I'm just thinking about the shops out there that are down on sales and they're thinking about should I look at recon? Should I look at bringing this stuff in-house? Can you share a little around that?
Yeah, it's pretty lucrative. I mean, most of your recon stuff, you can use lower or entry level technicians that are doing this style of repair. And I want to be clear on something too. The recon side doesn't mean doing it wrong. It's just your smaller, almost menu style options when it comes to touch up and small repair. So it's very profitable. It's fast. It helps your cycle time. Yes, the severity is lower, but that's a much more pleasant experience for everyone involved. Who wouldn't like to get a car in and out in a day and a half or 2 days? That's always a palate cleanser for your estimator, for you, for the operator, for your paint shop, for your technicians. To be able to get those easy wins and stack them up, it certainly helps. I'll take a million more of those easy wins if I can.
I've never heard them referred to as a palate cleanser
palate
before.
Cleanser. I feel like we just ate at a high-end restaurant or something. That's awesome. That's it. My friend, you are always an inspiration. You're always exciting to have around. And thank you for your openness and willingness to share with everybody. Keep crushing it, brother.
Good work, man.
You guys, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here, guys. Thank you.
I love it. All right.